You are watching Midnight Movie Talk live from Los Angeles, and I'm going to warn you right now, tonight's stream is going to be tight. No more than 20 minutes. So if you have a comment about our headline tonight, you need to get in with a super chat, and I promise you are at the top of the comment list. So tonight, I have all but lost every shred of my hope for cinema. I had a chance to see the early access screening of Sisu, which, in case you didn't know, is sitting at, you ready for this number? 97% on the Rotten Tomato meter. 97%. All I'd heard was, Sisu, this film's a blast. I love this film. What a ball I had watching this dude take out Nazis. Okay, so, sure, that sounds fun, doesn't it? I mean, you can just imagine what this film is if you've seen the trailer. It is a one-man wrecking crew up against an army that he has no hope at all of defeating, but yet because, unbeknownst to them, he is a mega assassin, John Wick. Watch out! It's gonna get ugly for the bad guys. How many times have we seen this movie? I mean, I think it's gotta be some iteration of this like 20 plus times over the many years of cinema. More than that. And tonight, for that reason, we are saying Sisu, ugh. This film is so laughably implausible. And I know here comes everybody. Everyone's coming here. They go, you know that this movie is not supposed to be taken seriously. This is a movie about a Finnish commander who went rogue and can kill anyone and do anything. And he's an unstoppable force of nature. Yeah, I got it. But when you have a small battalion of Nazis that can't hit the broadside of a barn with a tank, there's only so much I can believe before I go, I'm out. This is ridiculous. This film is one note. It is the dude, which I don't think we ever get his name. By the way, Sisu, for those of you who are curious, because I know you are, Sisu is a Finnish word for basically indestructible and being determined to exist through all that you could possibly be put under. All the pressure, you're going to get through it because you are Sisu. Here's the film, and that is it. It is one note. It is this rogue commander. You see him there. What's the name of the actor? Where is he? Jorma Tomilia. And he is mowing down Nazis because they try to take his gold. He's just trying to live a normal life, and then you pissed him off. And when you did that, you are going to suffer the consequences with knives through skulls, feet shot off, mines thrown at you. Imagine that just for a minute. We're going to throw a mine. There's a whole scene with like a minefield, and they don't know if he's dead. I'm not going to ruin the film for you guys, trust me, but it's going to be very hard tonight because this film had me bored as hell. And before anyone comes into the comments and goes, here he is again, Weber's hating another film. I don't hate this film as much as I did Ghosted or Beau is Afraid. But this is not a great film. This is by no means a 97% Rotten Tomatoes film. Who had the balls to say this film is so ridiculous in what it puts forth? And here's why. Let me explain why that matters. When you have one of the Nazi sub-commanders who is an expert sniper that can't shoot We'll call him Sisu for lack, even though it's not his name, because that's the name of the movie. I'm going to call him Sisu. You can't shoot Sisu, but you can shoot the guard who is derelict of duty from, with the sniper thing out in the middle of a lake. You can do that, but you can't hit him with literally that submachine gun, the giant ass gun that's on the side of the tank. That shoots the huge rounds. It's like, and here goes Sisu's running through the thing. And it's like all the shit's flying around. Not one bullet grazes Sisu. Come on, man. Come on. I know it's supposed to be this hyper-real bullshit film, but still, you can't have artillery fire from all angles, and we're sitting there going, he survived again. And the film gets way worse than that. That's only early on. As the film continues, we get to see Sisu. I don't care if that's not his name. That's what we're calling him. Sisu, as he survives every possible way that he could. There's no way he gets out of this, right? But yet, here he is. I know we've seen it so many times before. He's hanging. They hang him. He's dead. But yet, no, he's not. He actually sticks his leg into a peg on the side of the pole he's hanging from so that he can relieve the pressure on his neck and survive the night versus being hung to death. What are we doing? What are we doing? This film. And then by the end, we have Sisu sticking a pickaxe in a plane as it takes off from a runway, and he's hanging on the bottom of the plane like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, whichever one he was on the side of the plane. Only he's on the bottom of the plane hanging onto it with a pickaxe. It's stupid as hell. This film is not interesting. This film bored me to tears, and also, very importantly, this film feels like 2 hours, not 90 minutes. I thought for sure a 90-minute film would be perfect. The problem is, this film is an eternity to sit through. It has chapters. Chapter 1, gold. Chapter 2, the Nazis. Chapter 3, the landmines. Chapter 4, whatever the hell Chapter 4 was. Chapter 5, they all die. And then that slows it down too. The first chapter's gold. And it's like, yeah, I get it. He finds the gold. Why is this taking 20 minutes to find the gold? Just have him with the gold. Then there's all these shots of him going, oh, I found the gold. Oh. It's not a well-directed film. It's not a well-written film. It's a one-note kill the Nazis film that is perfect for the dregs of April, like they always are. April sucks for movies. And before all you come in here with the comments, by the way, we're only going 20. You got 12 minutes. You got 12 minutes tonight, and I'm done. I don't have anything else to say. This film is not great. This film is a 5 out of 10. It bored me to tears. Shih Tzu. I mean, yes, there's that too. How about a review of a time? No, Gore's in here. Gore's like, it's fine. I'm like, no, it's not. You guys know how I get. As soon as a movie's over, I get very, very fired up. And I can't stop unleashing my feelings about the film. And this is by far one of the more forgettable films I've seen this year. That doesn't make it unwatchable. It doesn't make it terrible. It makes it laughably implausible. And the fact that I'm sitting there watching it, rolling my eyes around going, oh my God, I can't believe the director wrote it this way. Here's how, again, remember we talk about fixing a film. Here's how you fix Sisu. You ground it more. Now, you can still have the same thing. He's a Finnish commander, went rogue, he got booted, and now he is a one-man killing machine, a remorseless killing machine, wandering across the wasteland and then runs into the Nazis. You can do that. But what happens is the film gets more and more ridiculous as we continue along, when we all know the reality is that at some point a Nazi would have just put a bullet in his head and the movie'd be over. It'd be a short film. I know it's a film. I know it's a fantasy. I know but listen to me. You still can't have the character in the film doing stuff that you go, give me a fucking break. You can't do it, man. I don't care what the film is. John Wick 4 is amazing. So much better than this film. I mean, this is not... I can't recommend this film. I mean, especially when this is what gets me angry. When you look at what else doesn't everything gets me angry. Here's the thing. It's 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is ridiculous to the point where you cannot watch the film, even if you go with it. When you have the Nazi killer hanging on the bottom of a plane with a pickaxe, that you have lost any shred of me being able to go with this film. I can tell you this, Scorsese would call this overrated at 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. You know what this film reminded me of? And this is actually, let's focus on this. And this is going to be a very delicate discussion, the kind of thing that we like to do here on MMT because most people wouldn't do it. But here is what this film is Don't Breathe 2 to me. Now, for those of you likely didn't see it, okay? Don't Breathe 2 is, yes, the sequel to Don't Breathe that features the rapist. Okay, this is why this is a very, very strange film to review. Man, I actually got in trouble with my tweet reaction for this because I said I called the dude in Don't Breathe a badass, but which in the film, Don't Breathe 2, he is. If you haven't seen it, it's just a continuation of the first, but it's not at all the same film. It's a revenge film where he gets his... This is why Don't Breathe is one of the hardest movies to review, because in this political correct society, you can't, obviously, even in a non-political correct society, you can't root for, as you guys know in Don't Breathe, a rapist. So here's what we have. We have him going after the guys who take his daughter, which, if I'm not mistaken, the product of rape. Now, listen, I know this is like, you guys are like, what? But this is the film. But when you watch Don't Breathe 2, when you watch Dude, right, and he's picking off the bad guys, very much like this film, Don't Breathe 2 is a better film than Sisu. It's not a comparison. It's a much stronger film. I think it's much more, and I know this is a strange word, enjoyable. Remember, we are acknowledging that we are being asked to root for a man who was raping women in the bottom of his basement. That is a very difficult ask, but somehow, if you let yourself go, you can go there. Now, Sisu doesn't have that element, right? Sisu, and I don't care, that's his name, isn't, to our knowledge, a rapist. The Nazis are. So obviously it's easier to root for Sisu, but I'm just saying from a pure, same exact story and feel, Don't Breathe 2 is far superior to Sisu. Even though, as I said, it's a very difficult film to, as I just said, I mean, think about that. Here's the problem. It doesn't even matter. No, listen. It's not enjoyable. It is, as you're watching it, you are entertained by the death wish Bronson. You're more entertained in Don't Breathe 2 than Sisu. Sisu should have been a short film, and the fact that it continues and at 90 minutes feels like 2 hours, it's not a great film. It's very, very disappointing for me tonight, especially when I came into it hearing how great it was. I think what we have is, and we're almost up, we only have like 7 minutes. We're doing tight tonight. Here's the problem I have right now with modern film criticism. We have people who are now buying into the idea of a film being good versus the actual film being good. Great example of that is Mario. Mario, you want the film to be great, you're cheering for the film to be great, and then you watch Mario and you go, this is not creative, this is not funny, this is definitely one of the worst versions of Mario we could have gotten. Is it terrible, like our friend Grace Randolph says? No, it is not. But it is also not anywhere near a very good film, Mario. And here with Sisu, you're looking at the idea of this guy picking off Nazis. That is, I'm all in on. Then you watch the film and you say to yourself, nothing here hits any high note. Everything is a one note. We got it, and it doesn't go anywhere. The audience tonight was struggling to get excited. I know when an audience is into the film, right? You can feel it. I've got Gore sitting on the side. This is what Gore loves to do. I'm going to call you out, Chris Gore, because it's what I love to do. Gore does this. When he knows a film is getting a very average reaction, he will be there and go, woohoo! I hear him back there. He's like, woohoo! Like, he's literally like a paid cheerleader in the film to get people to suddenly go, maybe this is good. Gore, we're not buying it. Sisu, the reason that audience was flat tonight is because the film is flat. It will be at the end of the year one of the most overrated films of the year. First of all, the last Rambo is much stronger than this. We don't have to go back. Don't Breathe 2, you guys, I didn't see. If you didn't see the last Rambo, whichever one, my God, now that is a revenge film that is so far superior to Sisu because it knows its ridiculousness and it's not just one note, even though it's essentially the same thing. We get the bad guys to Rambo's farm and he picks them off in the tunnels. It is one of the most violent films you'll ever watch. Far better than Sisu. Don't Breathe 2. Far better than Sisu. Sisu is absolutely not worth your time. I'm telling you now. Watch the trailer. That's all you need from this film. The trailer at 2 minutes is all you need of Sisu. Nothing more. You don't need a second more. You have 4 minutes and the stream's over. 4-minute warning, everybody. The last Rambo is, yes, and the last 20 minutes makes up for it. In this film, the last 20 don't make up for it, even when all the Nazis finally get mowed down by the prisoner / the sex slaves, the women. I mean, this film is... it's not entertaining at all. And I know I just said that Don't Breathe 2 was, but I don't know how to describe it. You shouldn't be rooting for Don't Breathe 2, but it is a much more entertaining film than Sisu. Sisu is one note, and it really should have been a short film. That's the short and long of it here tonight. All right, less than 3 minutes. 3 minutes on this. Gore. Listen, Gore sits in the... He knows this. Where are you, Dunn? Where are you, Gore? He sits in the theater. This is how it goes. The movie's going nowhere, and here's Gore. Woohoo! Yeah! Woo! And I'm like, Gore, stop. The movie's not good. Don't do it, dude. Don't do it. Sisu Mario Bros. And as we wrap the stream here tonight, because this is it. It's in and out. For everybody who says you don't like any films, John Wick 4, How to Blow Up a Pipeline, Air. Those 3 films are very good this year. In fact, let me go through quickly, as we still have a few minutes. I'm going to go through the films of 2023 that I recommend, okay? And let me get it up to the year. Give me 1 second. Domestic. I got to pull it up on Box Office Mojo. Mojo will look at everything that we have so far. Let me hit yearly. Let me hit the button, and then we'll share the tab, and we're going to go through, and you're going to say, I don't hate every movie. I do not hate every movie, okay? Here's 2023. Let's go through the movies, and I'll give you a thumbs up if I've seen it. Super Mario Brothers, thumbs down. Avatar Way of Water, thumbs down. Ant-Man, you guys know, thumbs up. John Wick 4, 2 thumbs up. Creed 3, 2 thumbs up. Puss in Boots, mid. Scream 6, down. Megan, up. Dungeons and Dragons, down. Cocaine Bear, definitely down. Man Called Otto, up, shockingly. Shazam, down. Didn't see Jesus Revolution. Air, 2 thumbs up. 80 for Brady, shockingly watchable, mid. Knock at the Cabin, thumbs up. Missing, thumbs up, barely but there. Plane, thumbs up for what it is. 65, thumbs down. Magic Mike, 17 thumbs down. Evil Dead Rise, thumbs down. Okay, so what are we at? We're at like maybe 45% of the films. Champions, thumbs up. Listen, guys, that's fine. Do you want a critic, an evaluator, who is going to come on here and is going to say that 75% of the films are good? No, because they're not. Why is it a crime to ask for more out of our films? Because when you watch Sisu, you're asking for more out of this film. It is one thing and then it's over. And once you get to that, the film runs out of steam and it's an absolute bore to watch. Knock at the Cabin is still a stronger film than Sisu. Okay? So I do not love every film. I'm sorry about that. I am passionate about what I believe in, and the things that I don't, I am going to wholesale trash. And everyone who says, you keep hammering Beau is Afraid, because you guys know I do not love a director who takes us into something that is 1,000% inaccessible for 99.9% of the audience. Okay? I am not the guy who goes to a 5-course meal and complains about the apps. Maybe true, but listen, let me leave you like this here tonight, because it's 20 minutes. We're back on Thursday. I just wanted to get in here and talk about Sisu, and that's it. Here's what I'm going to tell you. There's nothing wrong with expecting more from things. And if that means you have to say that a film like Sisu is at very best mid and at worst an absolute skip, then I would tell you that that's okay. There's nothing wrong with being hard. Do not be a Chris Gore. Chris Gore is way too generous on films, and I'm going to call him out on it here. And when I see him, I will get into it. If Gore wants to do it, I will take him on in a one-on-one show, and I will detonate him. It will be worse than Sisu versus the Nazis. I will take Gore, and I'll fillet him live any day. No question about it. I will make another scene. I don't care, Gore. This movie is not great, and the fact that you were cheering it on, you are the problem with movies, Chris Gore. All right. We're back on Thursday. You guys know I love you guys. I love Gore. I love you guys. Thanks. Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate it. Stream's over. That's it. Tonight's over. As always, that's 100%. If you're going to get one thing from me, by the way, tonight's shirt, Luton Town, they're now in third in the championship. They might get to second, which means they're going to go to the EPL next year. The Premier League's beckoning for Luton Town. And that's it for the stream tonight. Back here on Thursday night, unless something pops up. We got flash reactions to talk about at CinemaCon. We've got all kinds of things, but I'm going to take a couple nights to get away from movies. I've watched Ghosted. I've watched Sisu. I've watched, what the hell else did we just see? Just movies that are just doing nothing for me. I need a break, and I can't wait. I'm hoping to see Guardians on Thursday. If that's the case, stream on Thursday, and I bet you I like Guardians because you know I liked Ant-Man 3. If it's half as good as Ant-Man 3, then I'm going to love Guardians. That's it tonight. Good night from Los Angeles. I'll see you back here on Thursday, hopefully, about Guardians of the Galaxy. I'll keep you updated in the community tab. Thanks for being here. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will see you on Thursday. Good night. Live from Los Angeles. Erick Weber says, see ya.